And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another Coach's Corner, this one from the East Palestine side of things, so not too far from each other, and I'm joined by the East Palestine ladies coach for hoops. It is Will Franklin, and always Will, one of my favorites. I love talking to you because you shoot me straight. This has been an interesting year, to say the least, for you. Frustrating to begin, to start, to stop, to start again, but everything so far, when you did start, has been working to the advantage of these girls that have worked so hard to get not only back on the floor, but to put a banner on the wall. So talk to me about, start to finish, the frustration to the celebration of 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit it the frustration, the celebration, the up and down this year. We're one of those few teams, I think, in the area that really got hit hard with shutdowns. We entered our tournament record at 3-0, which gave us a 15 seed. So that was kind of another, obstacle for us to overcome. But yeah, we've been shut down, I think, 3 or 4 times. We didn't play our first game until January 11th. A lot of teams already played, 10, 11 games. And we played our first game on, I think it was the 11th or 12th against Southern. So, and then we played Monday. We lost our game on Thursday due to COVID, so we rescheduled someone else. Steubenville Central Catholic went down there just so we could play a game. Played that Saturday, then against Lisbon, and then we got shut down for COVID within our own team. And then it was another 14-day layoff, no practice, doing Zoom meetings, huddle sessions, and then then we started up again. So a lot of bouncing around back and forth. The kids, I commend them. They kept their heads in the game the whole time. And to be a high school athlete in your senior year, getting so many shutdowns, wondering if you're ever going to get a chance to play, compete for a league title and things like that. So, I mean, it just shows the character of our kids.
You talk about the character of your kids. You have some very, very good ones. You have 3 that have been there really with you since they were freshmen. Since you took over the program, they were 7th and 8th graders. Well, talk about you can talk about all the seniors, of course, but the 3 ones that have been by your side each and every year through the ups and downs with you, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I mean, those 3, we have Jocelyn Fristick, Peyton Sherry, and Morgan Rutledge. Like you said, those 3 have been with me. I think, actually, when I took the job, I think they might have been in 4th or 5th grade.
Oh, wow.
This is my 8th year here. So watching those guys come up and, when they got to be sophomores, we started them. I rolled the dice with those kids, and it kind of started from there. And they were gym rats, all 3 of them, always in the gym. Fast forward to their senior year, and heck of a senior year to not know what's going to happen. When we were practicing in October, nobody knew what was going to happen. State of Ohio wasn't really a big fan of basketball at that point. We were that one indoor sport that was contact. Volleyball, you stay on your own side of the net, you're separated.
Right.
Basketball, we're in each other's face, and State of Ohio and the health departments weren't a big fan of basketball. And, then we were amped up, get ready to open up and play our first week in November there before Thanksgiving, and our opponents kept getting shut down. So, those seniors, they kept practicing, they kept working their craft. Every time we got shut down, they were on every Zoom session. They probably got tired of me having them. I know my family was tired of me in basketball at times. They're like, "What are you doing? You're not practicing." I'm like, "Well, we would watch your guys' games. Like whoever's playing on YSN, I'm like, we're going to Zoom this thing. We'll share my screen. We'll watch our opponents at least. We got to do something basketball just to keep those kids connected." And I think they did a great job. Those 3 seniors are kind of steering the ship and keeping everyone else, in basketball, that basketball mentality with all the negative that was surrounding us getting shut down.
We certainly appreciate you supporting us and watching on YSN, Will. But here's the thing that people maybe know about, maybe don't. Obviously, being an East Palestine guy, when you walk into that gymnasium, there's one sport on one side of the gym that doesn't have any banners, doesn't have any of the tiles or the plates, as we call them, in Stream City, USA. That has haunted you for the 8 years that you've been there. This has been a year that you've circled on the calendar that if you don't get it to this point, this is the one. This is the one that you pointed at because of who you have, the roster, the depth that you utilize, and having all these challenges this year, it had to be disheartening at times, not only for you, but for the seniors and really all the players of the team, because everybody knew this was it. It was all in.
Yeah, we were definitely all in, and you could tell the kids were concerned whether or not they were going to get a chance to compete for a league title. And I know things changed in the league daily, depending on what happened. We had a couple teams, us and I think Valley were shut down a lot because of COVID. Um, and we were given some different scenarios, and at the end of the day, we were given a scenario. I think 2 weeks ago on a Wednesday afternoon, I was called down to our AD's office. He's like, "Hey, do you want to play for a league title?" Well, absolutely. That's where kids want. And he's like, "Well, you have to do this, this, and this," which was a very difficult task. We had to play a Wednesday night. We had to go to United, play in a tough environment there against a team that I think 6 days ago, handed it to us at our place. And then we had to beat Columbiana again. So we had a lot of it wasn't easy. We'll say that, and a lot of games, a lot of stress, in a short amount of time. And, our kids, and you talk about their mental aspect this season, every one of our games has been a tournament game. We were at that point where if we lost the game, our chances really diminished really quickly. And then, you never knew with COVID. If we got shut down again at that certain point, we were probably just done. So just for us to be able to, we had our kids, we try to keep them in bubbles. We're like, don't hang around people, keep your masks on, and, don't go to this, and this. If you guys are really committed to a championship effort, we're going to have to do things. We got certain kids sitting certain places on the bus. We broke up our practice groups, anything we could just to, make sure we had a chance in the end. And, those seniors, that's what they wanted to do. And you mentioned those tiles up on that wall. I work there. I'm the PE teacher. I walk in that gym every single day, and there's not a league championship up there. So for us to finally hang one up there, I don't have to walk into that gym every day and see that. The girls mentioned a highlight video that you put together for us last year, how you made that snapshot of the blank wall for them. That was another motivator. They wanted to leave their legacy and put that first league title up there.
So first question is the tile ordered? Are we going to get to watch it be hung? Like, are they going to bring in a cherry picker for you and the girls to go up there and hang it?
Yeah, I'm sure we can make something like that happen. I know it's ordered. And to add a little more kind of history of East Palestine Girls Hoops is, in the gym, and there's, they have them for, league championships. Those are the number ones we want. We want a league championship. Also, there's supposed to be banners for sectional championships. So we get to hang one of those as well. And doing some of my, history research on girls basketball and with the help of, Mrs. Sherry, she informed me that I think in 90-91, that team actually, maybe it was earlier in 90-91, but I might be misquoted on the years, but they actually won a sectional championship as well. So we're missing, a sectional championship from back in the 90s with, I think, her and Lori Montgomery and those guys. So we want to make sure that gets up there. We want to honor those guys because some of those girls are those, moms and women right now, they're our biggest fans.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we honor those guys. But yeah, hang that first league title, that's a big one. That was we knew we had a share when we beat United, and then it was like, let's just go get the whole thing. We had an explosion against Columbiana at home. So, kudos to those kids and keeping that drive, and that's what you can ask for out of student athletes.
All right, I'm going to give you a name, and I want you to put a characterization on the first on that name and the first thing that pops in your head, all right? We'll start with your underclassman, Maya Lee.
She's a newbie. She's green, right? And with that kid, she didn't play basketball. She's never played organized basketball. And I started working on her after freshman volleyball season. She was in one of my PE wellness classes, and I'd always throw a ball. I'm like, let me see you shoot. Like, the girl can shoot. I'm like, you can play. She's like, nah, I can't play. And I kept working on her. I would go to my wife's volleyball games, with COVID and all this stuff. I'd pack up my 3 kids. I went to Struthers and watched them play because she's like, your husband won't come. And she goes, he'll come. So I took my butt to Struthers in the field house to watch those guys play volleyball on a Saturday afternoon just to say, I'm here. I'm still recruiting on you. And then it came down to crunch time, and she's still half in, half out, and she was there. And that's a kid, like I said, we played our first game mid-January. She should have had 10 games under her belt.
Yep.
And now we're starting to see she gets a little better each game, and she's been a monster on the boards for us, cleaning up offensive rebounds and getting put back. So I'm real happy with what she's brought to the table.
Patience Champney.
she's a killer. I mean, lately that girl is on fire. Like nothing's rattling her right now, and it seems like the last handful of games, man, that kid, she's that one, like, she gets forgotten about because everyone focuses on the other three. Well, you let her open, and she shoots your eyes out. And she's the kid. I was talking to Lori Montgomery about this. She's like, Patience is the kid where it's all net or she misses. I've never seen her rattle a shot in. It's either swish or out. So she's been that silent assassin type kid.
All right, Peyton Sherry.
That's the leader. She steers the ship. She's the rock. We go, if things get a little wild, we lean on her, and that's easy to tell. She's that level-headed kid where we lean on her when things get difficult. I lean on her. She's my floor general out there. When things get a little scrappy, I look to her, and she gives me that nod, and she's got it.
Morgan Rutledge.
Morgan's been, I want to say, with her, man, she's a freight train lately. Whatever happened, and I'm probably, and she will, if you ever talk to her, she will definitely agree with this. I'm probably the hardest on her out of everybody because I know she has it, and that's how I think she responds. When I rip into her or chew into her, it's like a switch gets flipped and she's all go, man. And she gets to the rack and, look out because she's coming in with some force. So she's been, these last 3-4 games, she's been great for us.
And last but not least, a young lady I know that's very special to your heart has put in a ton of work and deserves a lot more than she gets, especially this year, Jocelyn Fristic.
She's just, I want to say with her, I mean, if I had a word to tag on her, I'd put that kid's a warrior. She's battled a lot of stuff, always keeps fighting. She has a couple of games where she's, not herself, but then all of a sudden, man, when she sees it go through, that rim just gets huge for her. And she sticks with it. She's matured a lot since being a sophomore, and you can see that on the floor. She plays with confidence. Like I said, that kid, and like I said, you can name any of those kids, they put into work, but I'll always, those 3 seniors have definitely set the expectation for the future. And like I said, Frizz is a prime example. That kid, if I had the lights on, she was there. And if I wasn't there, she found someone to be there so she could get in the gym. So, just their work ethic, all those kids. And that's why we're in the position we're in right now.
All right, Will, an honest question for you. It's been a tough go at it for Palestine sports in the last couple of years. Talk to me about what a championship means, whether it's at the conference level, whether it's at districts, sectionals, whatever it ends up being. How important is it for this town to get behind this team, not knowing when the next time we're going to see another championship banner be raised? Yeah,
I mean, I was part of, we won that football championship when the ITCL was in the red, white, and blue tier stuff. And, that was huge. And that was I think my 3rd year here. Just seeing the community support was amazing. And then I think we got a share of an EOAC, possibly in, I want to say 15 or 17. I can't remember. I've been so focused on basketball at this point in my life. But especially this year with COVID and, how games are just a little different feeling. Us competing for this championship has brought back a little normalcy to sports, I think, especially small schools like, in East Palestine and schools like that. And, I received so many messages from people that I don't even know who have my number. I'm getting emails and all this stuff. People just texting me how they're so proud of the kids, and it's kind of brought together that small community. Mrs. Bingham, we all know Mrs. Bingham in East Palestine. She's like, those girls made me cry. I was like, wow. She's like, that's the way it used to be in basketball, in East Palestine. So, to have that excitement around the program, I think that's awesome. And, it's really, today we had with COVID, we don't do pep rallies. We had they called it a clap out. The girls, they went through the whole school. All the kids got out of the class. We had a band there clapping it up, just something to acknowledge the kids and show that, we're behind them. We got that support. So it's kind of one of those things that, it's pulled people together, when you're not winning, things are tough, and that's anywhere. But, for us to finally hang one and just the positivity that surrounds this team right now is amazing.
All right, you got a big one tonight. Obviously, the underdogs once again. At this point, do you embrace the underdog role as you roll into South Range? And what does that mean for the girls? What's the pep talk going to be like for you in that locker room? Do you even need to do a pep talk anymore? Do these girls know what they're up against?
I don't think this group needs many pep talks. Like I said, every game so far for us has been a tournament. We take it one game at a time. We don't really look ahead. Yeah, I mean, tonight's going to be a tough game. Number one is, it's another home game for them. It's, with COVID this year, everything's a little different. But, we're going to travel well. We've been traveling well lately. I mean, our fans have been amazing. We've been packing the place. They're making signs, going nuts. It's great high school sports right now. The scene's awesome. The kids love it. I mean, that's exciting. That's what you coach for, those type of moments. But yeah, being number one is, people forget we're a 15 seed. When everyone else entered in their records in the tournament, 10-2, 14-3, I entered in 3-0. And I put my record in, and I'm hoping, I'm talking about a return 3 seniors, and I'm trying to sell our program. End of the day, we played 3 games. I think we're one of the lowest seeded teams left in the area for the girls, and if I'm not mistaken. I mean, we're a 15. Yeah, everyone else that's hanging around still is at 5, 6, 7, 8. I think West Geauga playing Poland. They're at 11. So, but we're a 15. And what's the narrative? Obviously, yeah, we know South Range. We know they got a pretty good team over there. They pumped up their schedule, and they played some bigger teams and prepared themselves. We know what's in front of us, and the kids are fired up. They're not backing down from it. We prepared the best we can against those guys on a couple of days of practice, and I feel like we can finally play with not as much pressure. We are the underdog. We're the 15th seed. They're the overall number 1 seed for a reason. We're the underdog, but we can play a little looser because, hey, we're according to everybody else, East Palestine don't have a chance. The only ones right now, our fans believe it, our kids believe it, I believe it. So we're going to go out there and, we're going to fight and give them our best shot on their floor.
Well, congratulations on an unbelievable season. It's one of those dream come true moments, I'm sure, for you, and a breath of fresh air, and otherwise in the middle of a pandemic, which isn't such a bad thing. But good luck tonight as well. We're proud of you, and we look forward to doing another one of these before it's all said and done, buddy.
All right, man. Thanks.
You got it.